What is going on, guys? So I've got this awesome e-bike today. I'm actually really excited about it. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I accepted the review on this bike just because I think it looks so different. Doing lots of reviews of e-bikes on the channel now, it just gets a bit the same. Like, to be honest, if a bike's a 48 volt, 1000 watts, if it's 36, 250, do you know what I mean? I can pretty much know what a bike's like before even riding it half the time now, and it does get a bit monotonous. When this company contacted me about doing a review on this bike, I looked through their website and saw this, and I've seen this style of bike before, like being based in the UK. Most of the time, companies only sell this style of bike to like the US market. So when they said they were, sorry, my dog's in the way of the thing. Sit down, they're trying to look at the bike. You donut. Well, trying to do a review of the bike and Gabby just wants to be in the shot, so not much I can do about that. Yeah, so like I said, like most of the time you only find these sort of bikes in the US market, and I just love the fact that this looks way different to anything else that you know, I get the usual Engways and stuff which are great, and the other brands, but they're all very much the same. This is so unique and so different, and I just love like the retro styling of it. I like the way that they've put, you know, tan wall tyres and matching grips and retro colours on it, but it also looks a bit modern. I wanted to review this bike just based on how it looks. Like, I think it's a really good looking bike. I haven't even ridden it yet. It hasn't been unlocked. We're going to try and go through all this morning. But I've got to say, straight off the bat, I would own this regardless of how it rides, as long as it wasn't awful, just because of how good it looks. Like, let me know what you think in the comments. So, it's obviously locked to 15 mile an hour. I have turned it on, lift the back wheel up. So I definitely want to do something about that, because you guys could be watching this from anywhere in the world. We want to know what it actually performs like. It's a 48 volt, 1000 watts, so that's pretty good. 12.5 amp hour. The battery is actually hidden in this fake petrol tank, which I think is really good and different. Don't think there's anything in that satchel bag, or whatever you want to call it. The brown bag in the frame, I think, is completely empty, so you can just use it for storage. Not entirely sure where the controller is. It's either in the red petrol tank. Well, it's got to be in the red petrol tank, really, because I'm pretty certain it's not in that satchel. So it's nice and tidy, nice and retro. You've got like, looks like a crocodile or snake skin flipping seat. Sure, it's not real crocodile or snake skin, but it's got this really unusual retro seat. Just look at it. I think there's a lot of people that are going to either love or hate this. Let us know in the comments. So, quick run through the spec. Like I said, 48 volt, 12.5 amp hour battery. You're probably not going to get a ridiculously large battery in this petrol tank style thing. But 12.5 amp hour, depending on how you ride it, will still get you a reasonable range. 48 volts is great because that's what's going to give you the speed. I think if this was 36 volts, it would already be like, nah. Do you know what I mean? Like the potential of a 1000 watt motor on the rear and a 48 volt battery, it should at least do 20, 25 mile an hour, but we'll find out. I think they're using a very similar, if not the same, display and soft touch control panel that I see on some of the more expensive Lankalesi bikes, so that's nice. I think this bike is in at around £1,000 RRP, so I think for the money it's good. You're not going to get, you get disc brakes, but they're not hydraulic, they're mechanical, but I've had it before where they've got plenty enough stopping power, so it's not an issue. You can always modify and upgrade, but I think they'll get the job done. Don't think it's single, yeah, it's single speed on the back. Didn't even think of looking at that. Single speed with a chain tensioner on the rear. Why complicate it? You know, I've not got an issue with that. I think it'd look a bit weird having like a 7-speed derailleur on a, you know, almost looks like a cafe racer vintage bike. So actually like that. It's got more of a motorbikey type of vibe. Right, spun it round. As you can see, it's just a single speed with a chain tensioner kind of contraption. Keep it nice and simple. I like the colouring, I like the style of it. It's got, what features it got? I mean, hasn't got a rear light. It's got your front LED light with a retro type of grille over it. I thought this was a shock absorber. It's got the brackets for a shock absorber, but I'm pretty certain that's solid. But I mean, there is a potential of putting a stiff shock in there if you take the measurement between the bolts. It looks like you could add, if you wanted to, you could add a shock absorber for a bit of extra cushioning. I'm not sure how that would work, but something a bit different again. You've got half twist throttle on there. I'm not sure if it's working at the moment. I really struggle to find the instructions to unlock this because I've never heard of this brand before. So I hadn't even told you guys the name of this. So this is a Hidoes I'll put it up on the screen. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a Hidoes B10. Going to put the link in the video description, so don't forget to check that out if you want to get hold of one of these yourself. I'll put a link for the best price and from the manufacturer sponsoring this, the seller that's sponsoring this video today. I say we just get this thing unlocked and get out for a ride on it. What do you reckon? So I'm going to go through my phone and pull out the instructions and try and go through the unlock process because I struggle to find the unlocking process, and it might be helpful to those of you out there that actually might want to go out and buy one of these because it's not as well known a brand. I hadn't really heard much about them until I see this. But yeah, let's get this thing unlocked. Right, so on the control pad, plus and minus at the same time. Now this is a bit I got stuck on. I'm like, why is it not doing anything? Anything I pressed wasn't doing a lot. This is an unlock code by the looks of it. So I'm going to use the plus. It's 1, press the I button to move along. 3, 1, 3. So now P1 will change it to miles an hour, and then P2 is your battery. You don't want to mess with that. I think that's level assist, not worried about that. 24-inch wheel size, that's probably correct for a 20-inch fat tyre. P6, so it says 25 kmh, so we're going to press I. P6 is the one for unlocking speed, so we're just going to go all the way up to, I guess, 99. Just keep pressing it. It ain't going to go nowhere near 99 kilometres an hour, but at least we know it's not restricted. So we want to know what this bike really does. I'm sure you do. All right, I'm going to try. I'm not sure if you just press the plus or minus to get out of this. Off button. See if it comes on as miles an hour. Right, that should be the changes taken place. So what I'm going to do is hop off of it, lift the back wheel up, cross everything, guys. Let's see whether this works. Oh, helps if I put it in the highest level assist so we get a true speed. Right, showing 31 miles an hour, so it's not locked, and that is without resistance. So I'm going to take a wild guess. This probably does more like 25, but we'll find out when we hit the road. So let's go get it. Right guys, so how's it looking? What does it look like riding along the street? I mean, I like this bike just purely on how it looks, but we're going to see how it rides as well right now. We've got a little bit of a catching sound on the front mudguard or something. It's weird that, don't know what that is, because who knows. Anyway, so obviously being a really different design, it's got a different riding position. It's quite upright, like a large BMX with a big scoopy saddle is probably about the best way I can, feels a bit beefier and a bit bigger, you know. Obviously riding a BMX as an adult, it feels a little bit on the small size, but I know, they say this suits 5'5" to 6'5". It's quite a broad range of size. Obviously a one size fits all bike. I'm 5'6", and yeah, I'm not sure if you'd feel a bit cramped on this being like really tall, because I don't think there's much adjustability with a saddle and stuff, but you'd get by, you know. Andy's a tall boy, and he's quite happy on a medium-sized bike, so it's kind of user preference really. Would you say we try and give this a high-speed run? It is a bit downhill, I'm not going to lie, but I just want to get up to what rolling speed it's going to get up to. We haven't got a lot of space, there's cars about, so let's just go for it. Helping with a bit of pedalling, full power. I might have to brake if a car comes. I've got a massive camera hanging off the side to 3 foot. 26. Oh, there's a van coming. 28. Oh, we might be alright. It's pretty much just set at 28. I don't know what that noise is. It might just be assembly issue. I don't think it's nothing major. Probably just something catching where I haven't had a chance to check over it yet. It's pretty smooth. I think if I was to keep this, I'd probably try and put a little shock absorber under that seat where it's got the bolts. The seat is comfortable but somewhat firm. I think a little bit of seat cushioning wouldn't go amiss on this. Like, I think it'd be easy enough to just get the measurements of the shock and order something to give you a bit more bounce on the seat. But I still like it. It's really cool. I'm going to be completely honest, when I first got this, I'm like, I'm going to keep this just because it looks badass. Maybe I'm going to throw some more power at it and do this to it and do that to it. And to be honest, I've got so many projects that I don't think that's going to be the case. I do tend to list the review bikes for sale because I can't keep all the bikes, and it does all go towards building the channel and investing in more projects and a workshop, etc. So for those of you who don't already, follow the link in the video description for my Facebook page. You can see custom built e-bikes, review bikes for sale at bargain prices. Don't forget to check out the link in the video description for the bikes I review for the manufacturer themselves. You know, if you want to buy something brand new off the shelf after seeing the review I've done, help support the channel by clicking the link in the video description. See what it's like going uphill. I wish I could see it from your angle, guys. I want to see what this thing looks like riding along the street. I guess I'll get to see that later when I'm editing this video, but I mean, we're doing 18 miles an hour up the hill with just some really light pedalling, not putting in any physical exertion whatsoever. I've got a feeling you could probably do walk mode and cruise control from this display, but I don't use that kind of thing often. Would I recommend you guys buying this bike? Yeah, I would. I mean, I think most people are going to buy this bike purely based on the fact that it looks a little bit different. And it's not to say that the spec of it and it doesn't ride good. It rides pretty good. It's got a decent quality display, controls. I think the components are about as best you're going to get for £999. Let's not forget, like, the price of e-bike batteries and things. It's pretty impressive what most brands are putting out for their money. Considering an e-bike battery can be at least 400 or 500 quid. You know, when you put everything else with it, they're pretty much all manufacturers are putting out something decent, but I still really like this. It's highly tempted to keep it, but I'm not going to. I've got too many projects. I've put too much into the workshop, and I really need to get that kind of paid off. I'm still paying off. I don't know if you've seen on the channel, you know, where I did the intro. I've set up a really nice workshop for doing e-bike content and projects, and we're fucked. Let's go this way. It's like a retro motorbike, isn't it? That's what I love about it. The spec's decent enough. You can get the same kind of spec on a lot of different brands, but I literally think the selling point of this is the styling of it. It's unique. Like, there might be other things similar to it, but in the UK market, there's not many people that are selling this kind of thing. Let's see if we can get it over 28 mile an hour. Give it one last attempt. 23. 25. Come on, we can beat 28. Come on. Sounds like the front wheel's going to fall off. 28. 29. 29 on the button. Pretty much 30 mile an hour. So yeah, it's going to be more than enough for most people, and most people in England are not, you know, there's going to be people that don't want to unlock it to do any more of 15, so it's going to suit anyone, locked or unlocked. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to be uncomfortable over some lumpy, bumpy grass? There is a bit of cushioning on the front forks. You could do with a little bit more padding on the back seat if you wanted to go over anything too bumpy, to be honest. Or, like I said, put a little shock absorber would be pretty cool. I mean, it's doable. It's not terrible. It's a little bit hard on the back end, to be honest, but nothing you couldn't live with. I'm just waiting to see the massive puddles over it. Wait. Filled with ice. I'm not even going to attempt to try and get air on this thing with the camera hanging off of it. No, I'm not going to go. I'm not going on the pump track. It ain't happening, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I've missed with the specs. Obviously, you've got 32 diameter forks, you've got preload adjustment. I think you're going to look at this and think that looks sick, I want it because it looks a bit different, or it's just another 48 volt 1000 watt e-bike. Like, the selling point is definitely the looks on this one. Don't forget to check out the link in the video description to, if you want to buy this bike. Got lots more review stuff, tons more stuff coming up on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, give us a comment. It all helps the channel grow. Like, there's probably only 10-20% of people who watch my videos actually subscribed, and you know, the more people that subscribe and follow me, get involved, like and comment, the more can grow the channel, do bigger and better projects and make more interesting content for you. So it's a win-win for both of us. But anyway, let's see if this thing does a donut without the camera falling off. Donut approved. What more could you want? Right guys, that is it for this video. There'll be plenty more coming on the channel. I've got a workshop full of bikes. Don't forget to hit the notifications button if you want to be updated on new review videos, new projects on the channel. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in a video soon. Take it easy.